I'm going to show how to install Excel statements for Dynamics SL. So we consider best practice first to ask the network administrator to create a group for the Excel statements users, and also to make available a shared folder on the network for those users to use. So if you're the one doing that, just want to go into Active Directory users and computers, and I'm just going to right click, new group, and I'll call the group Excel statements users. Okay, so that's a security group. And then you're going to want to put in that group the users who will have licenses for Excel statements. So I'll just put myself in there. Okay. And then we're going to want to create a folder on the network. I'm just going to go back to the file server here, and we'll go in and we'll make a folder, a shared folder here called Excel statements. Again, you don't have to use any of these names, and you don't have to put it at the root. And then we're going to want to share that. So we're going to share with, and we'll just use that group that we created. Okay, and all they need is read and execute, so this should be fine, and we'll share that. Okay, now we're going to go back to our workstation, and the next thing we're going to do is, well, let's unzip. So from your Excel statements, you're going to have at least these two files in there. You'll probably have more, but these are the two that you need when installing. So I just unzipped those to a folder, and we're going to run this script, and then we're going to place this add-in file, which is read-only, into the folder that we created, the shared folder. So let's go out and go to that folder. So I have to go back to that server. And there's that shared folder that we made. And so I'm just going to drop the add-in in there, the shared add-in. And that's a read-only file as well. And you want to leave it as read-only. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start SQL Server Management Studio. And you need to be in the server or server instances sysadmin server role in order to do this. So we're going to connect to that server. And then I'm going to go and open that script that we just unzipped. And there it is. And you want to run this in your system database. I happen to have my system database set to open a query window when I start SQL Server Management Studio. So we're going to execute that. And this shouldn't take too long unless you've got lots and lots of databases. And this is what you want to see. If you do see an error, it should give you enough information that you can fix that error. And then the next thing we're going to do is to create a SQL login for that group that we created. So I right-clicked on logins here, and this is under the server, not under a database. So new login, and my domain name is XLstatements. Yours will not be, and you're probably better typing it. I am too. and we called that XL statements users. And then you're going to map that to a role that was created in the system database when that script was run. So we're going to go check the system database, and then we're going to place it in that role. Okay? So we're all finished with installing the product on the servers, and all that's left is to every user needs to add in XL statements into their Excel. So we're going to go to Options, and yours may look a little different, depends on the version of Office that you're running. We're going to go, and then we're going to click Browse, but we're not, I don't recommend having people browse, because this location has to be identical for every single workstation. Otherwise, they can't share XL statements reports. So that's very important. So I recommend telling them to actually type in the UNC address of that folder that you created. Okay, and you can start choosing it once you get there. And then you want to point to that XLAM file and say OK. And that this, you always want to answer no here. So it defaults to yes. So this is important to realize. You want to answer no here. If you answer yes, you're going to have a terrible chore when you update XL statements. XL statements should be as easy as running the SQL script and copying over the XL statements XLAM file. But if people answer yes there, then it's going to be in their hidden profile, and you're going to need to go and find that and delete it for each user, and then make sure you set them to the right place. Now I have the Dynamics SL client installed, and so XL statements automatically found the information it needs, which is the same information Dynamics SL needs, which is the SQL Server name and the system database name. If you're installing as someone who does not have the client installed, then it will bring you to this screen, and you'll need to enter in your SQL Server and your system database name. And then obviously you're going to need to enter in the registration key that you got when you purchased XL statements into this same screen. But the product is installed. You need to load the add-in on all the workstations. Only the first one, if you need to enter in that system information, only the first one needs this entered. As soon as this is entered on the first workstation, all the other workstations share what was entered from the first one. It creates a configuration file actually in your XL statements shared folder. So that's all there is to installing XL statements. Thanks for listening.